Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are still on board. You are knowing what you are wanting. You're ready to begin. What do you want to talk about?
Hello. It's hot up here. Okay. My question is about relationships.
Yeah.
And
all creation is about that, isn't it?
Yeah. And I feel like my perspective here will help a lot of people in the room also. So it's about my relationship specifically. I've been with my girlfriend for about 2 years. And
we thought you were going to talk about your relationship with us.
I know. Well, it's the same thing, I guess.
No, well, they're both important relationships, but the relationship with your inner being, if that's your primary focus, then the other ones will take care of themselves. But if you get it upside down and you let something out there be more important than something in here, then you can't fix it.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm getting really good at following my internal guidance system and discerning what makes me feel good.
Feeling for impulse and following it.
Yeah.
And tuning yourself so you can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I really, really like my girlfriend. But I feel bad that it will come to a point where I'm gonna have to end the relationship and she'll be upset about it. So and I care about her, so I don't want to cut her off.
So you're ending the relationship because you can't focus yourself into feeling good all the time and you're blaming her?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Are you giving anybody else credit for the way you feel? In other words, are you living a conditional life where everything needs to be a certain way so that you can observe it and feel good in responding to it? Because a lot of people, that's what they think relationships are. You please me, and as long as you are, I'll stick around, but don't slip up and don't make me have to focus. Make it easy for me. Stand on your head in as many ways as possible to please me. And as long as you're doing that, then we're good. But if you take your eyes off of me, we're being sarcastic. But that is what most relationships are about. Please me and I'll stick around, and don't please me and I won't. And that's why we jumped in right in the beginning of this conversation to remind you that you have the capacity to stay in alignment. And when you accomplish that in a steady way, then those around you enhance your alignment, but you're not dependent upon them for your alignment. Mm-hmm. We just want to say that to everyone about all relationships. Your relationship with your inner being is what matters most. And we're not trying to lock you in anywhere. We just know that there is so much potential from right where you stand for connection and alignment and expansion. And sometimes people don't experience as much of the value that they could before they move on. And so they sort of have a shallow experience, and then they move on, and another shallow experience, and then they move on, and another shallow experience. And we don't mean shallow experience with each other. We mean shallow experience in relationship to the depth of experience and expansion and evolution that you could be receiving as a result of this meaningful and sometimes contrasting experience.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. I guess my question or my concern lies in if I feel I'm aligning with my inner being easier when I'm not with her.
Well, then she's a great advantage to you, because she will help you to discover focus. The other day, Esther was meeting a friend to walk around a sort of loop near where she lives. And she had meditated prior to the meeting, and so had her friend. And when they got together, they were walking out the gate and walking past a little stream in Esther's courtyard that really has lovely sound. And so they decided to sit together and just meditate for another 15 minutes, just because it feels good to do that. And it was such a perfect place, it seemed. Perfect place. You should see it. You should hear it. You should smell it. It's just like this place carved out that could not be more conducive to feeling good, really. And they sat down and focused on the stream, and a jet flew over. A really loud, low jet. And then another, and then another, and then another, and then another. Esther wondered for a minute if the world was coming to an end. So much loud jet noise. And then Esther thought, I'm going to listen for that stream. And she was able to hear that stream anyway. And together they experienced a very deep and satisfying connection with source energy. There's something nice about being in the vicinity of somebody else that's doing the same thing. There's a synergy about it all. And the best meditation maybe ever, the best alignment maybe ever. And then as they were walking, it occurred to Esther, because we're very occurring, and she was really tuned in, able to hear us. Esther said, when we're out in the world, it's not going to stand still for us. It's good for us to figure out how to accomplish our alignment, our connection, no matter what. So sometimes you think, in terms of relationships, that the easy ones, the ones that just make it easy to feel good, are your greatest advantage, but that's not true. Those jets helped Esther to understand her ability to focus, and they helped her understand that she can be out in the world where all the noise is, where all the chatter is, where all the lower vibrations are, where all the resistance is. She doesn't have to hide behind walls and cloister herself in the little haven that she has created for herself. How boring that is. It is the most beautiful place on earth, and boring because there's so much out there. So we know you hear that.
Yeah.
There is such a strong tendency, and you're getting it with everything we've got, because you are a representative of what's going on in this room and on this planet, where so many people are living such conditional relationships and not taking responsibility for their own connection, primarily because the relationship has lured you away from your understanding that your connection is yours to make, your connection with source. We would like it if all of you would say to those up closest to you, I want to love you and I want you to love me, and let's do as much of that as we can. But I am not going to be dependent upon any way that you feel about me. My feelings are going to be independent of everything like that, and completely focused upon the stream of my source. I'm going to stay tuned in no matter what. And as I'm tuned in, I will find things about you to adore, even when you are ornery. I can focus upon the stream in you rather than the jet noise swirling around you.
I have a quick question that's related. So for me, as a young person, I guess, like, when we meet someone, like a partner, are we like supposed to be with them for the rest of our lives?
Not at all. Not at all. And that isn't the point that we're making. But if you move on because you don't like something, or because something doesn't suit you, then the next will be the same, and the next will be the same, and the next will be the same. We're not trying to keep you together with this person. We want you to move on when the inspiration from alignment is calling you, not when something is bothering you and driving you. And you're not there yet.
No. What about marriage? Are we supposed to get married?
Before we answer that, and we will, it's important to focus upon what we have been talking about already, about being in the receiving mode and following the impulse. And the majority, far and away the majority, almost all marriages come from the receiving mode of wanting to protect, wanting to commit, wanting to make a promise from a place of worry. In other words, think about those vows. Usually, no matter how bad you are, and no matter how bad I am, that's what they mean, whether that's what the words say or not. Until death do us part, we will stay together. And your inner being is saying, no, don't make that promise. What you want to say is, it is my powerful promise to you that I will strive in every moment of every day to find my alignment with who I really am, to tune in to all that I am, so that when I look at you, it's all of me appreciating you. That's my promise to you. I will do my best to give you all that I am, not for longevity, but for this moment in time. I'm going to tune in, I'm going to tap in, I'm going to line up with all that I am. And when I focus upon you, all of me is going to focus upon you, because I'm going to become a master of that alignment, because I want to live happily ever after. I want us to live happily ever after. That is a commitment, and whether there is paper and lawyers involved in it or not is irrelevant.
Cool, thank you. I feel good.
So, should we get married? Not necessarily. Should I be in alignment? Absolutely. Should I need you to be in alignment? Irrelevant. Oh, so my vows are, I'll be good and you can be bad and I'll stick around? Pretty much. Think about it. Didn't like it, did you? I'm going to tune into all that I am, so that I have the capacity to find value everywhere I look. And I'm going to be looking in a lot of places at you, yes, but not only at you. I'm going to be looking for value everywhere and finding it. So please do not develop a dependency upon me. Don't need my everlasting gaze to be upon you. Don't need my attention to be upon you in order for you to feel good, because that's not the way it works in this universe. We are all expansive beings. We all have so much more to receive and to give. We cannot jail each other in this environment or relationship where we are dependent upon one another for our happiness. There is so much more for us to be than just us together. But when we each connect with all of that and then we come together, oh baby, yeah, good.
Yeah.
Enough.
Yeah.
Something more?
I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I feel like that was enough.
You know these things. You all know these things. And you know when your relationships are working and when they're not. We're just asking you to take more responsibility for how you feel and let everybody else off the hook. And you'll discover how to live happily ever after, and then all of your relationships will blossom. Yeah, really good. Yeah.